Hi, my name is Udell Konjo, and I cannot believe that my company, Fine and Country West Africa, is now in its 14th year. Yes, 13 years have gone by so fast. Who can believe it? When I was lying on that bed in Johannesburg, Sandton, South Africa, 2006, recovering from breast cancer, going through rounds of chemotherapy, radiotherapy, mastectomy, surgery, all sorts of treatments. I'm grateful, first of all, to be here. I'm grateful that today I can sit here in this seat, 16 years post-cancer, 14 years into Fine and Country. One of the beautiful gifts that came out of that journey, that crisis, health crisis, Fine and Country, it was in that season that I reached out to Fine and Country to ask for the license. I asked for the license in the midst of a crisis, and I got the license, negotiated it, signed it for West Africa. 14 years later, here we are. 13 years flown so fast. When you're building to last, it is fun and time truly flies. But I believe it is time to give back. I believe it is time to share the behind the scenes of how this company came to be built, our wins, our blessings, our lessons, our defining moments, our refining moments. And so over the coming weeks and months, I will be sharing with you top business lessons from building a multi-award winning real estate firm operating in a very competitive sector, and yet building a formidable brand that has become the option, the main and only option for real estate developers, investors who are operating in our niche in the luxury, residential, and prime grade A commercial office segment in Nigeria. This is not a real estate conversation. This is a conversation of how to build your mega brand and business. This is a conversation about you unleashing the giant and the champion that is within you. This is a conversation about possibilities in action. It is a conversation about confidence, resilience, authenticity. These are all strong values of mine, and that I believe that every high impact entrepreneur would find valuable. And so let's begin. I remember real estate choosing me. 2006, the 35th birthday party that I hosted at La Scala in Muson Center in Lagos, Nigeria. I remember I had just left the Senate. I had done the unthinkable. I had quit my job as special advisor to the Senate President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. I had written a long 2-page letter thanking the Senate President for giving me the opportunity to serve him as special advisor on legal and constitutional matters. I had the unique privilege of traveling on numerous occasions on a diplomatic passport as part of my role at that level, in the federal public service. We'd gone to Mexico, Geneva, Switzerland, different places. Some of my colleagues were very keen to go on those journeys. For me, each one of those journeys was I almost want to call it a distraction. Whereas other people jostled to get on those trips, for me, it was just one more opportunity for me not to be with my family. Serving in the Senate was a unique privilege and opportunity, which I recognize as a defining moment. It exposed me to the public service in a way that I find very few things will. And there are many lessons and blessings from that particular journey. But at this point, at my 35th birthday, I had just tendered in my resignation. because I realized very quickly that it wasn't a place where I could express fully my passion, my potential, and my value. And there were aspects of my life that I felt that I put on hold, and I was not able to express all my value in that particular space at that particular time. And so I resigned, because as a person of value, adding value for me is a very important and fundamental criteria for success. And so after the resignation, I decided to celebrate my 35th birthday. And I remember people asking me at that time, 35, why are you celebrating your 35th birthday? What's the big deal about 35? And I thought, hang on a minute, what is a big deal about any birthday? You choose which birthday you want to celebrate. For me, 35 signifies new beginnings. 35 signifies an opportunity, just as any, to celebrate whatever it is that you want to celebrate. Interestingly, my father was at that birthday. My mothers were at that birthday. Some of my siblings, some of my best friends, some of my old friends were at that birthday. It was a party for about 100 people. I like to consider 100 people as an intimate gathering. My husband doesn't think so. He thinks an intimate gathering is one of him, me, and the kids. However, I'm so grateful that I had that celebration. I remember one or two of the senators who were at that particular event. Unfortunately, one of them recently passed, Senator Ajimobi, and his lovely wife were at that event. And I recall that with fondness, but now with hindsight, when I look back, I was celebrating the end of an era and the beginning of a new journey. A few months after that, I was diagnosed with breast cancer. I had just embarked on my real estate business in the quest for financial freedom. And I remember looking back and realizing that real estate presented me an opportunity to pursue and create value in any location, in any jurisdiction. And so even though I was in South Africa going through my treatment, I was still able to apply, as it were, my knowledge in that area to helping clients. I remember a time in particular when a client reached out to say, oh, they're coming to South Africa, because prior to that, I had, a handful of clients that I was serving in an advisory capacity. And they said they were coming to South Africa. Guess what? I just had chemo, my hair had fallen off. And I was like, oh my gosh, how are they going to see me like this? But anyway, I put on a wig because my hair was all gone and managed to get myself together. And in that visit, the client invested in real estate, $3 million. And my fees in that transaction was $150,000, 5%. That was incredible. Do you know what that meant? I had, even at that stage, started to serve clients at a very high level, very specialized. I helped them to organize the mortgages, find the property, connect them with an agent to manage the property, arrange the mortgage for the property, and in some cases, arrange interior decorating for that property. For this particular edition, I refer to it as real estate chose me. I wasn't sure how long I was going to do that, but I said to myself, if I'm going to run a real estate business, then I want to run it at the highest level. I want it to be exclusive. I want it to leverage my professional standards from law. And I want to make sure that the clients that I serve recognize the value that I bring to the table. And so in Johannesburg, South Africa, while recovering from breast cancer, I said, if I'm going to do this, since it gives me the freedom and I can operate it from anywhere, why don't I look for a license or a franchise? Why don't I look for an international real estate brand that I can work with and bring into Nigeria and operate it? And that way, I'm cutting short my learning curve. I have a platform and I can continue to build that platform. And that's what I did. I went at some point to Cape Town to attend a real estate show, all in the quest to sign up a real estate franchise or license. And then subsequently, at some point, I was lying down in my bed after treatment, and I was reading the Saturday Star. It's a Johannesburg newspaper publication. And I saw this license. They were offering a license for Sandton, South Africa, Johannesburg. And I picked up the phone on the next day, on Monday, and I called and I said, I'm interested in that license. In addition, I am interested in the license for Nigeria. But hang on a minute, how about let's go for a West African license? Dear champion entrepreneur, that was the beginning of my journey with Fine and Country West Africa. Several years later, 1 decade and a few years later, here we are. This is the beginning of my story of building a mega business and brand. I invite you to journey along with me as I take you on this journey of unleashing your mega brand. This is Adele Conjo, and I'll see you on the inside.